What makes you want to be a philosopher? Why do you aspire to read all these books by different philosophers and collect all these different terminologies and sometimes very large words and vocabularies? What does it do for you? Does it make you sound smart? Does it allow you to defeat other people in philosophical debates simply because you use words that most people don't understand? Or is it to be able to explain more in a smaller sentence? Are you willing to explain these words to people who don't understand them, to have a valid conversation that is about the truth? Is it about intellectual superiority? The reason I am in philosophy is because I want to understand people. I want to understand society and civilizations and how the world came to be the way that it is. The history of humankind and why we have done the things that we have done, right? Not the narrative, but the actual truth. The story of history from both sides that share it. Because I think that understanding the human conditioning and helps you understand the how societies form, how the values of society become the values of that society. And further, it also helps you understand why historical decisions even happened, right? For example, one of the things we want to tell ourselves is that Christianity hasn't done any good, that it's the problem. No, it is the human nature. Now, human nature goes both ways. I don't think human nature is bad, but people's ambition, people's ego, people's pursuit to prove themselves to others, those are typically the things that lead to atrocities. Christianity just won, right? You had the Babylonian Empire, then you had the Persian Empire, and then you had the Greek Empire, and then the Roman Empire, right? And then the Roman Empire fragmented, and you had the Byzantine Empire into the West and East, right? And then you had the Byzantine Empire, which was technically Christian, but then you had Britain that was slowly getting stronger on the west side, which was also Christian, but they were two different types of Christians. The Byzantine Empire believed that their ruler was appointed by God and God's will and all these things, right? And then over time, the Byzantine Empire shrunk. Why? Because of the Turkish, right? And the Turkish who were Muslims, right? Then I guess Britain, I think, helped out the Byzantine Empire to fight them off, and then the Ottoman Empire began to grow, and then the Ottoman Empire defeated the Byzantine Empire, right? So it's not a matter of who the bad guy is, it's just a matter of who won. Because you can make the argument that the Byzantine Empire, the Roman, all of these different empires happened because of ambition and conquering and assimilation and people trying to prove themselves in battle, right? And then those empires got too big for whatever reason. Chaos happened. They fragmented, and they fragmented back into the smaller tribes. And that is the true history of the world, right? It's a battle over resources and survival and ego and ambition and trying to prove our value as a human on this planet. Typically, the people in the highest positions have the most to prove, and those are the ones who conquer and assimilate. Then there's also the battle of the settlers, people who settle in the open world, right? because you had these nomadic Turkish groups who were looking for resources and saw this settled Byzantine Empire with plentiful resources, right? And it's just the same thing over and over again. And that's what happened here in the USA. It was a clash of perspectives, of people who want to settle and people who are nomadic. I'm not saying that horrible things didn't happen, and I'm not making excuses for the horrible things that did. I'm just simply saying that for people who do not have self-awareness, who do not seek mastership of themselves, discipline of the things that drive them, who do not self-question and ask what motivates me, people who do not examine their own life are going to be pawns to their ego. And that's why I think Socrates says that the unexamined life is not worth living, because if you don't examine your life, you're not really in control. You just think you're in control, but you're just responding to impulses.